Muslims will defend Muhammad by saying that lots of people down through history married young girls. This is another strange response because morality in Islam isn't decided by popular vote. Islam condemns drinking alcohol. If someone replies, well, lots of people down through history drank alcohol, so it can't be wrong. Will Muslims accept this as a refutation? Of course not, so why use the bandwagon fallacy here? Finally, if nothing else works, Muslim scholars and apologists will commit the ad hominem fallacy. If you say that it's wrong for a grown man to have sex with a little girl, they'll just call you an Islamophobe, as if the only reason anyone could ever object to a grown man having sex with a little girl is some irrational fear of Islam. This is always a good time to remember the Andrew Cummins definition of Islamophobia. Andrew said, Islamophobia is a word created by fascists and used by cowards to manipulate morons. Sorry, Muslim scholars and apologists of the world, but you're not going to convince us that having sex with children is okay by calling us names. It'll be a terrifying day for the young girls of the world if Kenny makes a good case here, but let's hear him out anyway.
You standing for that?
Yeah, good
okay.
for a final point?
Okay, good. So, yeah, this is my final point here. So this person says, for the Western mind, perhaps the most disturbing fact about, quote-unquote, fact about the founder of Islam is that he has had a sexual relationship with a 9-year-old girl. And because of this, it's become increasingly popular in some circles to refer to the Prophet of Islam as a pedophile. He says, this is, of course, extremely offensive to Muslims who view Muhammad as the ideal servant of God and the greatest example of what a man should strive to be. Now, note, saying for the Western mind is implying that the Westerners are somehow more civilized than those in the East. It's xenophobic, Islamophobic. He's talking about Muslims. And what fact is he talking about? The one based on authentic hadith that have varying sources?
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
And what circles, this is my final words, what circles call Muhammad a pedophile? David Wood circles. David Wood circles. And who wrote that article? David Wood wrote that article, 2009, and surely he should know by now that the Muslims themselves, and stop trying to disqualify the fact that the Muslims themselves disagree and you don't get to choose. For any human being on this planet, from the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, until today, the only way they would know for sure when that marriage was consummated is if they were there as an eyewitness seeing it happen. Astaghfirullah, of course that didn't happen. So it doesn't matter who spoke about it, what period of time, when. They weren't there. They don't know when the Prophet engaged in sexual interactions with his wives. Now he wants you to, again, envision the greatest scholar of Islam, Aisha, radiallahu anha, as some little baby girl that was getting abused. But guess what? There's nothing in the hadith that mentioned any signs of her, being sexually assaulted and so forth. Matter of fact, she fought adamantly for the Prophet. She loved the Prophet. She was indeed jealous of other wives. And he admitted that by saying that did she want to be monogamous? I don't see anywhere where she wanted to be monogamous. But the fact is she was indeed jealous of other wives. Primarily Khadija, radiallahu anha. So the fact of the matter is she didn't have signs within her character. We don't see any of that in the hadith where she's saying anything about any type of sexual abuse or that saying anything negative about the Prophet. Oh no, on the contrary, she is an adamant defender of the Prophet, peace be upon him, giving us details about his life. Now, if she had been abused, does a person who's sexually abused go about the rest of their life, years and years after their abuser molested them and never mention it to anyone, and not only that, but go and defend the character of the Prophet himself?
Source after source after source that I quoted to you. So for instance, Sunan an-Nasai 3380, it was narrated that Aisha said, the Messenger of Allah married me when I was 6 and consummated the marriage with me when I was 9, and I used to play with dolls. You keep attributing this to me, and I'm the one quoting Aisha. Now my question for you is, if Aisha was this wrong, why do you keep saying she's a great scholar? If I can't trust her on when Muhammad had intercourse with her and, I can't tell the difference between when I'm 19 and when I'm 9, why should we believe her about anything?